welcome to BBC News Studio. Today we have a fresh story for you, the X Factor Fix. There's been reports on Amelia Lilley's X Factor winners single on HMV website. So is it true that Amelia Lilley is going to win X Factor 2011? Let's see what other pupils and teachers at SJT think about this. To you, Brett.
Thank you, Keisha. We're here in SJT today to see what some of the teachers think about this fix. Here's Mrs. Burge, who's the librarian. So, do you watch the X Factor?
I do, yes.
So who do you want to win?
That's a really hard one, but I would quite like Little Mix to win, just because they are slightly different from anybody else.
So, you're a big fan of Little Mix, so what do you think about this fix?
I think you have to be careful, because to be honest, I take most of what they say on X Factor with a very big pinch of salt, because I think the whole thing is very carefully manipulated all the way through. But when it's organisations like HMV, who you tend to think should be unbiased, it gets very dodgy, because it will inevitably influence people's decision. If they think she's already won, people will think, well, there's no point in me voting for anybody else, or they might just think, well, I won't vote at all. So it will have an influence, I'm sure.
Yeah. So do you think X Factor, do you think many people watch it in the school, many of the pupils?
Yes, I think it's very popular with students, isn't it? I get the impression.
Thank you. Next we have Miss Canning. So do you watch the X Factor?
I do, every week.
So who do you think, who do you want to win?
Either Marcus or Little Mix, but I'm rooting for Marcus.
So how do you feel about this fix then?
I was quite confused when I heard about it this morning, but I thought that something might be dodgy because of Amelia Lilley being voted back in so late on in the competition.
So do you think that was a fair decision?
Well, I suppose Frankie went out, so they needed to put somebody else back in. Maybe it should have been the fourth boy that lost out rather than being open.
Do you think the judges are fair when what their criticisms and that?
I think throughout the series they have been. Last Saturday I think they were really harsh, and maybe were a bit too critical, but overall I think yes, they are being fair.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett. I'm at the other part of the school, and I've got some people here to interview. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Chelsea.
Do you watch X Factor?
Yes, I do.
Who do you want to win?
I want Little Mix to win.
How do you feel about the fix?
I think the fix is really unfair because the X Factor producers and different people are trying to plug Amelia Lilley to win when she hasn't won yet and it isn't even the final.
How do you feel about Amelia Lilley being voted back in?
I think it's a bit unfair really because she got knocked out on the first week and then loads of weeks into the competition she got voted back in when other acts that went out after her could have been voted back in.
Hi, I've got another pupil here. What's your name?
My name's Shabna.
Do you watch X Factor?
Yeah, I do.
Who do you want to win?
Little Mix.
How do you feel about the fix?
I think it's a publicity stunt for Amelia to make her stand out more from the other X Factor contestants.
Do you think that it's fair that Amelia Lilley being voted back in?
I think it's fair, but it's unfair as well because she came back at a later stage when everyone else had been voted out by people, and I think it's fair because she's a good singer as well. So.
We're going to be taking one more person to ask them how they feel about the fix. Hi, what's your name?
Hello, Declan.
Do you watch X Factor?
Yes, I do.
Who do you want to win?
Marcus.
How do you feel about this fix?
It's a disgrace, but people might, if they listen to the album, they'll know more about how she sings and then they'll give a vote and she might be able to win.
Do you like Amelia Lilley?
Not really, no.
How do you feel about Amelia Lilley being voted back in?
I think it's a disgrace because there was better contestants that got voted out and they deserve another chance.
Do you think it was fair on the judges?
Not really, no. It's not been the same with the new judges.
Thank you. And good night. That's
very interesting, Lucy. So it seems that people are really not happy about this fix of the X Factor, and it seems that it is rather unpopular. Now back to Keisha and the
Thanks for watching today's news about the fix. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.